Hey guys, CephalonKet here. So yesterday they released the 7.1 Swtor update. We got some new story in the Digging Deeper storyline. We also got a new daily area on Manan. However, this video is going to focus on gearing and my previous videos, as you have seen, they focus more on solo players, just whatever is friendlier for solo players to gear up previously to 326 quick. However, with 7.1, it appears that story players, solo players in particular, are getting the short end of the stick this time, in that they are pushed to do group content. And I've gotten a couple of comments that are saying, well, it's an MMO. However, BioWare itself pushes solo content. You cannot tell me that this MMO, even though it is an MMO, that it doesn't focus a lot on story and focuses a lot on your own character and their storyline. You cannot even group up for most of the story content when you go through it the first time. So with that out of the way, like I was saying, the solo players, previously we had found a workaround of just doing some maybe Starfighter and going to 326. But now, as we saw from the stream, they showed that for PvP gear, we can only go up to 328. This was probably because they saw that many people like me, they were working the system in order to gear up quickly. And it looks like they don't want people to get the gearing out of the way super fast. They are trying to add some artificial difficulty, let's say. So solo players, if you continue with the PvP route, the Starfighter route particularly, which is the least PvP and group content you can do, you will only be able to get the 328. And I also got some comments that mentioned that, hey, so it's now saying fuck you to players that use the PvP method, and now we have to start over. The answer is no. In fact, if we did use the PvP method, and especially if you had some Tertian crates saved up like I did, you can get a huge head start when it comes to gearing up. You can get to 328 pretty much from the first day of the update. Like, check this out. With this character, I only had some Tertian boxes, right? I had like a couple, I don't remember. So I used that and jumped to 328. And then with the rest of the currency, the PvP currency that I had left over from the PvP I had done, Starfighter, normal PvP, etc., was basically maxed out here. And I just manually upgraded the rest of the gear I had, the Tertian gear, to 328. And what does that mean? That means that because now you either will need to continue with the Conquest route, I'm talking about solo players, you will need to continue with the Conquest route, which means you will need to save up resources and upgrade manually through the vendor. That is a very lengthy process. Again, even though we cannot continue with the PvP route, I don't recommend going through the Conquest route manually. You can do it, of course, but if you want to get it out of the way, no. But that way, with the 328, you get a head start, because then when you get, for example, a flashpoint, a veteran flashpoint crate, or a master flashpoint crate, you will jump to 330. And that is, again, the cap without doing the operations, which is content that not only do you have to be subscribed, but you also need coordination, you need to group up, you need to arrange it perhaps with your guild. It's not ideal. Definitely not. So yes, with that in mind, the best way to gear up, this is not just for solo players now, this is in general, and excluding the operations. If you do operations full time, like every day every week with your guild and you're fine with that, cool, you're good to go. You will probably go even to 340 with that path. However, if you, let's exclude operations for now, especially if you're a preferred player, you cannot do operations anyway. So the path to take, if you haven't geared up yet, is, my suggestion at least, to go to up to 328 with PvP gear. That is super fast again. The currency you get is very good. You get a ton of tech fragments that you're going to need for your legendary implants. So get to 328 with that, and then focus or use your boxes and the master and veteran mode flashpoints. So this, if you're a solo player, but sometimes you do group content, that is fantastic. You're good to go. Because say, okay, you are a player that just hit 328 with the method I told you, PvP gear. And now we are going to go back to the supply section of the fleet, and we're going to see what we would do next. Like I said, you can do the Conquest route, but again, it's like they're artificially forcing you to take a step back, take it slow. You can either just buy the sets, slowly upgrade them, or even better, just do heroics, open the noble Gurian boxes from there. They will get you the same, like I'm wearing 328 purple. They will give me 328 green Conquest gear. So you can do that and then just upgrade manually with this vendor, the Conquest gear upgrades vendor, to 330. That is one way to go. However, again, Conquest, aka green gear, not the best in the game right now. They focus more on health, not on damage. I don't know if they tweaked something. I don't believe so. From investigating a bit last night, I streamed the update. We were focusing and looking at the new gearing stuff all together. It doesn't look like Conquest gear is on par with Flashpoint gear, for example. So the way to go after that is to either do the weekly veteran flashpoints or the master flashpoints. Master flashpoints are even better. They're going to get you the best gear without operations. So I highly recommend them. Maybe dip your toes in master flashpoints. They are quite fun when you learn the mechanics for the bosses. They can be daunting at first, but very doable. I believe in you. So other than that, we can also upgrade our implants even further now. We can go up from 330, we can go to 334 and up, but that will require a lot of tech fragments. That's where the PvP comes in, because PvP still gives a ton of tech fragments. So maybe keep that in mind while you do the PvP to get to 328. Use your tech fragments in a smart way in order to use them for your legendary implants. Another thing that's happening is that they added some vendors, and that is a bit of an odd addition. People were wondering why this is a thing. But what I think happened is, if you had watched my other video about the important stats you will need to keep an eye out when you hit level 80, for example, accuracy, because certain gear sets did not give you enough accuracy. So what I had suggested was to just take another piece from another combat style and mix and match that way. So I think what they have done is they added a way to do this, but officially. So these two vendors here, they will give you a mission. I have one here, where you have to deconstruct 328 and 330 gear. Prototype gear is the blue gear you get, and the artifact gear, which is another mission you can get, is the purple gear. I actually had to ask in the general because I was like, we don't have a gear set called prototype or artifact. So yeah, this is what they mean, if you're also wondering like me. So what you need to do here, once you get that mission, only one at a time for some reason, you will need to sacrifice a piece of 328 blue or purple gear, deconstruct it, and that will unlock mods. I don't have that done yet on this character, but what this will do is it will unlock enhancements 328, mods at 328, barrels at 328, heals at 328. And then you can use your adaptive gear, for example, this lightsaber here, and you would put the 328 heals, you would put the 328 mod and the 328 enhancement. The same for 330. However, they will not give you a boost. You will not get a better weapon, for example, if you use the adaptive gear way. You will not gain an advancement. This appears to be just for people that really want to mix and match. Perhaps if, for example, their gear set is missing on accuracy a little bit, so they can use an adaptive piece of gear, for example, their weapon, and put an accuracy enhancement piece, something like that. So it appears to be for those types of players, and I think that is useful. However, we had found a workaround already, so this is not a requirement. This is just something extra if you want to follow the official path, but it's really not a big deal if, for example, for Thirsian gear, we were just buying from a different combat proficiency that had accuracy, for example. I'm specifically talking about accuracy because it was a big deal back when 7.0 first came out. So that is something to keep in mind. I would, if you have an extra piece of 328, for example, I would do this quest, get out of the way. But at the end goal here is to unlock the 330 mods, because it will be better, even though, like I said, they don't have any difference from a 330 piece. But that way you will have the ability to then, with any weapon, a piece of gear you want, just slap the 330 mods and be all geared up. They're a bit expensive. They're like 100,000, maybe 200,000, I believe. It's not open right now. But yeah, if you really want to go that way, the official way, go ahead. And especially with flashpoint gear now, because farming flashpoint crates is more time consuming than the PvP, like the Starfighter Weekly, at least in my experience. Yours might be different, but you could switch back and forth between characters, switch the armor and stuff, but I personally have stopped bothering. I did that at the very beginning, but now there's no need. So this is a way to avoid this once you do it with your character. Unfortunately, you have to do it for each individual character. For my other character that does all of the flashpoints, for example, I did this mission and I have everything unlocked. With this character, I haven't played enough yet, so I haven't unlocked the modding stuff. Here are the unlocked mods, enhancements, heals, etc. on another character where I have already deconstructed 328 blue and purple. As you can see, for some reason, only purple enhancements get unlocked, and then blue mods. Again, enhancements, but they're not as good, I noticed, even though they're both 328. But the purple are still better, even though they only give you enhancements, armorings, heals, etc. So the same will be done for the 330. But yes, the gist of this is, solo players, you will either need to force yourself to play some flashpoints in order to get the best possible gear. You can still go to 328 with PvP, but for further up, you need to do group content, flashpoint specifically. Then, if you don't want to do that, you will have to go the Conquest route. You will be lagging behind, unfortunately, due to the cap and the amount you need to upgrade gear with the daily resource matrices. You can also try to upgrade flashpoint gear manually. However, very expensive. I do not recommend it at all. Using the crates, probably much better for you. Unless you do so many flash points, you hit the currency cap super fast. But if you don't, if you just want to do enough flash points to get your gear, I don't think this will be the ideal way for you. You will be forced to stop. So yes, as a first impression with the gear, I don't know if anything will change, if a patch will be released, anything like that. But so far, that's the data we have. There are some changes. Solo players don't have as easy a way to get through 330 as before. Definitely not. But what can you do? So yeah, that is my first gearing video. Just want to get something out quickly for you guys. I was getting comments in my stream last night asking, hey, what's the way to go now? And I was still investigating, so I just wanted to get something out quickly. I might make a follow-up to this once I also get everyone to 330. I'm already working on that. We'll start doing some master flashpoints. Thankfully, I've gotten the hang of it. But yeah, I will let you guys know if anything changes. And yeah, that's all for now. So thank you very much for watching. Remember to subscribe, maybe comment, like, anything to support me. I'm still a very new streamer. I also do other playthroughs, games, for example, Dark Souls. That playthrough is super fun. Give it a watch maybe. And also I stream almost every day on Twitch, so maybe hit a follow, come hang out with me. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.